At 06:19 local time, the USS Abraham Lincoln was busy delivering democracy 2,000 pounds at a time to Iran when suddenly their routine morning was shattered. An orbiting Hawkeye detected the undeniable signature of 4 inbound ballistic missiles and dozens of other air contacts. The carrier and her 2 destroyers have just seconds to react. On board the USS Spruance, her spy radar paints 30 contacts at low altitude. Staggered line, pushing south out of the coastal haze at barely 100 knots. 90 miles east, the USS Michael Murphy sees 28. The tactical action officer on the Spruance, the TAO, the officer responsible for every weapon system on the ship, classifies in 4 seconds. One-way attack drones, the cheap Iranian kind, each one worth less than a used pickup truck, but each one carrying enough explosive to gut an engine room or shred a radar antenna. He doesn't waste a second. The ship's 1MC blares across every speaker on the vessel. General quarters, general quarters. All hands man your battle stations. Up and forward down the starboard side. Down and aft to port. Reason for general quarters, inbound air contacts. Every hatch slammed shut. Sailors sprint to repair lockers. The MH-60 Romeo helicopter claws off the flight deck and banks east toward its picket station. Hellfire's on the rails, door gunner already scanning the surface. On the signal bridge, 2 sailors wrestle a drone-restricted access using known EW or Drake. Think of it as the ship broadcasting a fake version of itself miles from where it actually is. Like if someone sent a hitman to your house, but you swapped your house number with the neighbor you've never liked. He shows up at the wrong door, and you watch the confusion from your living room window. On the Murphy, the same announcement, the same sprint to battle stations. At 9 miles on the Spruance, the MK-45 5-inch gun you see here swings to the drone bearing and opens fire. 70-pound shells with variable time fuses. The expanding fragmentation ring does the work from 30 meters out, which means the gun doesn't need a direct hit, it just needs to be close. First airburst drops 2 drones. A third absorbs fragments, loses 1 engine, keeps flying on the other. The auto-loader cycles at 20 rounds per minute, while loaders in the deep magazine feed shells into the breech in a rhythm the crew can feel through their boots. Lock, break, slew, reacquire. 3 seconds per cycle, 400 meters of closure in the gap, 24 contacts. 21. 90 miles east, the Murphy's 5-inch is running the same drill. The Vauxhall 50 caliber crews pick up the ones the 5-inch can't reach. 25,000 feet above both ships, the Hawkeye updates its ballistic track report. 4 warheads, now at apogee, beginning descent. 15 minutes to Lincoln impact. The report goes to every ship in the strike group. The Spruance and Murphy logs it and keeps shooting drones. There's nothing else that either of them can do about it right now. The Spruance is down to 18 drone contacts when the junior officer of the deck watching the surface radar breaks the rhythm entirely. Surface contacts bearing 085, fast movers, 40 knots inbound. IRGC fast attack craft, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps speedboats screaming in from the east, some rigged as one-way attack vessels with enough explosive packed into the bow to punch a hole through a destroyer's hull on contact. The 5-inch is pointed north at 18 drones still inbound. The boats are east. 1 main battery, 2 bearings, and no version of this math that works out cleanly. The ship heels hard to port at flank speed. The goal is to throw a wall of white water off the stern. It doesn't sink 50-foot boats, but it turns a coordinated wolf pack into a scattered mess. A dozen boats attacking together can overwhelm a ship's defenses. The same dozen boats attacking one at a time are just target practice. Breaking their formation forces them to slow down and reapproach, and that buys time. Time is the only currency the crew has left. The Mk-38 stabilized 25mm cannon you see here finds the lead aircraft at 2,500 meters through a deck rolling 15 degrees and walks tracers across the water until the engine housing detonates. The MH-60 Romeo handles the second, a hellfire into the hull, clean and decisive. The helicopter has 7 missiles left. The remaining boats scatter to regroup. 90 miles east, the Murphy surface radar produces the same call 30 seconds later. 8 fast attack craft bearing 270 coming from shallow coastal water to the west. Murphy's TAO has 16 drones still inbound from the north and 8 boats inbound from the west, and his 5-inch can point in exactly one of those directions. He swings it west at the boats because a boat loaded with several thousand pounds of explosives is the more dangerous target. He accepts the risk on the north bearing and puts the Mk-38 and the 50 cals on the drones while the 5-inch engages the watercraft. It's not a clean solution. There is no clean solution. He makes the call and lives with it. The boats take 3 minutes to suppress. By then, the drone count on the Murphy is back down to 9. All optical guidance, all still inbound, and the 5-inch swings north again.